I never thought I'd be the kind of person to share one of these real-life horror stories online. But what happened to me last month? Man, I can't shake it. I got a new job in a different city and was apartment hunting. Most of the options were way out of my budget. So when I found this older one-bedroom spot at a fraction of the price of the others, I pounced on it. It was at the edge of the city, in one of those neighborhoods that's quiet, but not abandoned quiet. You know the type. My first night as I was unpacking, I noticed this odd painting in the hallway. It depicted a crowded marketplace, and right in the middle was a man in a dark coat facing away. Just an ordinary painting, but there was something about that man. His stance or the way the artist had shaded him. It felt off. But, free artwork. The nights began blurring together, and things shifted. I'd wake up to find kitchen cabinets open or my shoes in a different place. I chalked it up to tiredness and stress. One evening, I was lounging on the couch, a podcast playing in the background. It was one of those deep dives into urban legends. The host began discussing an old tale of the Market Watcher, a figure said to appear in artworks, always facing away, always watching. It was believed that if you owned such an art piece, strange occurrences would plague your life. I laughed, thinking of the painting in the hall. But then, I started recalling all the minor oddities, displaced shoes, open cabinets. I got up, compelled to check the painting. There it was, the same crowded market. But something had changed. The man in the coat seemed slightly turned, as if he'd shifted his weight. Dismissing my paranoia, I decided to take the painting down anyway. The next morning, I almost jumped out of my skin. The painting was back up on the wall. And the man? He was even more turned towards the viewer. Not much, but enough to see the outline of a face. A face that seemed familiar. I did the logical thing, threw the painting out. I wish it had ended there. 2 days later, I found it in the hallway again. The man was now glaring directly at me. Panicking, I drove it to a dump, ensuring I watched as they crushed it. But that night, I heard soft whispering outside my bedroom. When I opened the door, the painting lay there, the marketplace scene now void of people, except the man. He stood closer, his face clearly visible. It was my face. From then on, it was a cat-and-mouse game. I'd burn, destroy, or discard the painting, but it always returned. And every time the figure inched closer, growing in size, his expression turning from anger to hunger. I consulted experts. One elderly art curator mentioned tales from his grandfather about paintings cursed to trap souls, with the Market Watcher as the gatekeeper. Each soul absorbed would leave the canvas, making room for a new one. Terrified, I tried everything. Blessings, seals, even a psychic who urged me to leave the apartment. But the painting? It followed me everywhere. In desperation, I recalled a childhood trick. Mirrors deflect bad energy. Might sound stupid, but I was out of options. I bought a large mirror, placing the painting face to face with it in a locked room. That night was the quietest I'd had in weeks. Morning came, and with trepidation, I opened the locked door. The painting was as I'd left it, but the scene had changed once again. The market was back, buzzing with activity. And the man? He was in the far distance, almost out of sight. But the mirror, I still shiver thinking about it. There, reflecting the scene, was the marketplace too, but with one addition. In the very center stood a man, facing away, wearing the coat I'd thrown out the night before. I left the apartment that day, leaving everything behind. The whispering, the man, that relentless painting. I'm in a new place now. There are no paintings here, just bare walls. But mirrors? They're everywhere. Last night I could have sworn I saw, in the dim light, a marketplace scene forming in one of them. And from the corner of my eye, I thought I glimpsed a figure, just on the edge of the reflection, in a familiar dark coat, beginning to turn.